are shy, and nobody ever wants to appear human. They want to appear superhuman.
Hi, Mom.
But these were no ordinary astronauts.
Are you recording yourself?
I'm recording Willie.
These were 7 friends.
It was absolutely amazing how much they cared about each other.
There it is.
It's starting to get exciting.
Why is it exciting?
What do you mean, why is it exciting? To go to space.
Spaceflight is a risky endeavor.
Dave said, well, Mom, you know, the scary times is the launch and the re-entry. And I said, Dave, I'll be thinking about you every minute.
Tragically, this crew would not return home. But through the lens of Dave Brown's camera, every intimate moment of their journey together is preserved. On January 16, 2003, 7 astronauts prepared to board the shuttle Columbia for a 16-day mission in space. But Dave Brown's filming started much earlier. Assigned to the mission in October of 2000, the crew trained for 2 long years. It was during this time that Dave decided to record what it was like to become an astronaut.
Dave recognized, I think, these treasured moments that he was experiencing with this crew, that this was a chance in a lifetime to be with these 7 people, and the amount of training that they were doing and the experiences and trips that they were making together.
Perhaps the most memorable training took place in the Wind River Mountains near Lander, Wyoming.
Don't think that you have to have that wired.
By August of 2001, the crew had spent 10 months together and experienced their first of many launch delays. But here in the wilderness is where they came together as a team, and where Dave started to have fun with his camera.
Rolling. Action. We're here in the Wind River Mountains with the crew of STS-107.
Brought to you by the National Outdoor Leadership School.
Well, Laurel, are you ready?
Dave, my palms are sweaty, my knees are weak. I'm ready for an outdoor adventure. Candid camera. Are we gonna actually stop?
No.
What?
Keep going.
No. We need a break.
Soon, into the valley.
Howdy.
Rick was real excited about it because there was so many similarities between what they were going to experience in Wyoming and what they would experience in space. All your comfort zones are completely altered.
The 10-day outing promised to be grueling. With the help of instructors, the astronauts would hike 5 miles a day, carrying 50-pound packs before making camp.
Hey guys, point up at the summit where we're going tomorrow.
Way the heck on! Back and going out that way.
Where we're going tomorrow. Mike is our fearless leader. He's going to lead us up there.
Their climb to reach the summit at 13,000 feet would be risky. No one wanted to get injured during training. As they planned their climb, Mike considered splitting up the group.
So basically a group that's going to aggressively pursue the peak and a second group that's not so aggressively going to pursue the peak. That's one option. The other option is if we all just stay together as a group of 7 and do the best we can.
He was much more safety conscious than maybe a lot of people are, but what he recognized was this was a unique opportunity that he and his crew had to bond together.
In the end, the crew decided they needed to do this as a team. They would climb the peak together.
Before we start up the steep grade,
Hey, Dr. Dave.
I'd really like to
How's it going?
The final hike, a difficult 2,500-foot climb, would take hours. and Dave filmed every moment. On day 5 of their Knowles adventure, the explorers of STS-107 finally reached their destination, the summit of Wind River Peak.
When you see that picture of them on that peak where they're all together and they're all rough looking and they have their beards and their hats on, I mean, to me that's like, here we are, we're the team.
What's up?
Wow.
On their journey in the summer of 2001, they climbed one of the highest mountains in Wyoming, crossed the Continental Divide, and bonded as a team.
Wind River Peanut Butter Cup.
Next stop, over the Earth's atmosphere.
That's right.
All right. It didn't look so far this morning, but...
With the peak behind them, they decided to take a break and celebrate.
Exactly what is that?
Nightmare, man.
What is that you're doing?
I'm trying to make these stupid brownies because everybody wanted brownies for breakfast. Yeah. Here, well, Commander, you need to try a bite of this.
Okay.
And see if you think we can serve it to the crew.
Yeah?
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh. My favorite. I love it. Thank you.
Hi, Dave.
Casey, are you hungry?
Yes.
You want some brownies?
Yes. Can I have one?
Of course. What do you think?
You are so cool. That's what I think.
Wow. Looks kind of like bear scat.
Are you hungry?
Come on. Well, you know I don't eat chocolate. It's belly up to that table. And...
Come on, Mike.
You could tell Michael was going, there is no way in the world I'm going to eat these brownies. I don't even know what they are. They look like cow dung. So, I mean, and that was kind of his take. If I can't look at it and tell it's food, I'm not eating it.
Okay, hold on.
So that was a wonderful experience. I mean, they came back from that a very solidified and unified group. Any of the rough edges that might have been present before were finally interwoven by that point.
The camaraderie that was formed at Knowles still showed when it was time to take the official group picture.
They're always touching. They're always trying to hold. They're a group. I mean, they're bonded together, you know. And to be such a diverse group, who would have thought that they would have been friends as well as colleagues and crew members together?
On the morning of February 1st, 2003, it is time to come home.
So we have 10 minutes to get gloves on. Lowell, do you need help?
As Columbia enters the outer edges of the atmosphere, plasma gas begins to envelop the shuttle.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be outside now.
What the crew doesn't know is that the superheated gas of re-entry is penetrating the left wing, damaged during launch. A few minutes after these images were captured, the wing would fail. Columbia disintegrated in the Texas sky.
He knew that the chance of not coming back was significant. And hence, when he did his last email, he wrote it with the thought that that could be a distinct possibility. Friends, it's hard to believe, but it's coming up on 16 days, and we land tomorrow. I can tell you a few things. Floating is great. At 2 weeks, it really started to become natural. At first, we were still handing each other things, but now we just pass them with a little push. We lose stuff all the time. I'm kind of prone to this on Earth, but it's much worse here. It's hard to remember that you have to look everywhere when you lose something, not just down. The views are really beautiful. If you've ever seen a space IMAX movie, that's really what it looks like. My crewmates are like family. It will be hard to leave them after being so close for 2.5 years. I will make one more observation. If I'd been born in space, I know I would have a desire to visit the beautiful Earth more than I ever yearned to visit space. It is a wonderful planet. Dave. And that was Dave's last email and last words to us all.
Miraculously, Ilan Ramon's last words to his own family were discovered nearly 2 months after the accident. A section of the diary he kept while in orbit was found in a Texas field. It had survived a fall from the edge of space.
I was shaking when I hold those papers and realizing what it is. Because it was, in a way, his message, his way of sharing his feelings with me personally, with the kids.
In his diary, Ilan describes what it was like to wake up in space.
I become a spaceman, working and living in space, like in the movie. I woke up in the morning with a floating, going to the family room, washing my teeth, my face, and off to work. All those wonderful people, crewmates that we lost.
We're so blessed because we have so many incredible memories because they took the time to spend all of that time invested in us and not just in what they were doing. So we can be very proud of what they did with STS-107, but we're all very personally thankful for who they were as men and women.
Though the crew of Columbia did not return home, their extraordinary journey is preserved through the lens of Dave Brown's camera. A journey of 7 individuals who became friends and fulfilled their mission as a team of historic explorers.